What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Legends of Tomorrow video. So it's been a month since I've actually done a Legends of Tomorrow video, and quite a lot has actually happened. But this is a show which I don't really have much to say on the show as a whole. But this episode, personally, I feel like I've got some thoughts I want to talk to you, discuss, maybe some theories as well. And I have been enjoying this show. I have been loving it. There's a lot of shows I watch which I don't actually do videos on. Mainly things like Riverdale, Gotham I don't do too many videos on. But I will be doing one this week. So first up we've got this episode which as a whole was really enjoyable. And personally, I didn't see the actual promo for this episode. I didn't see anything really much on this episode. I haven't really read much up on Legends of Tomorrow, but we know the whole clone part of this. It's all about Ava as well, considering the fact that the two, or kind of Ava and Sarah Lance, ended their relationship, which was a real shame, and Gary was shipping them hard, and so was pretty much most of the Legends of Tomorrow fandom. So here that's it, we're dealing with the fallout, to be honest, and Sarah is really upset about that relationship ending, but you know what, I'm not sure why she was so upset, because she could have actually stuck around and kept that relationship going. But first of all, we did have Mari McCabe, the Vixen, or the current version of Vixen in the timeline. So the most recent Vixen is Mari, who we've seen in Arrow, and we've also seen in the Vixen TV show. And the problems are occurring with Amaya not being in her time period. And it's interesting, I really did like the way that Kawasa was attacking Nate, not because she's evil, simply because she needs him to stop keeping Amaya where she is, and she's been away from her timeline too long, which is a real problem, and we're getting some sort of Vixen point here instead of Flashpoint. I'm sorry, that's a terrible joke. But I really do like that idea. I definitely did think that we would explore that a bit more. At the start of the season, we didn't have Vixen on board, we didn't have her on the Wave Rider, and eventually she came around and started joining, and her and Nate are a couple which are meant to be, but they're not meant to be, because she needs to give birth to her daughter, and then granddaughters need to be born and things like that. So that can't happen. This relationship can never actually happen, which I really like. That's a really cool storyline. It's a really interesting storytelling idea, and it's a really kind of good way of showing this, with Kawasa actually tricking Nate into helping him. And I really did like Zari, as we had Vixen as well, but Vixen was teaming up as well with Nate and Wally, which I thought was ace. I really did like that. And Nate and Wally West, I want to have their own spin-off, because I could watch those two interact for ages. They're really cool. So that was a nice part of the episode. And we've also got Kawasa, who has actually now perished, but she's going to come back. We know she's going to come back in some way. I expect her possibly maybe to kill Mallus or something like that, as some kind of big return, kind of like Saving Grace, the Death Totem, or something involved with that, which I think would be pretty cool. But again, like I said, it was really cool, and the Vixen thing is a big part of this season. Hopefully we'll see Mari McCabe pop up at some point and meet her grandmother. Maybe, I don't know. It would be really fun, but you know, there is the whole time traveling issues. Now the big thing here is the fact that Ava is a clone, or is she? So we know that they went to Ava World, as I'm going to call it now, this kind of future where there's so many clones of Ava, and I'm just going to call it Ava World. And there's been something fishy going on with her. I couldn't really think what it would be until I actually kind of sneakily watched the promo of this before. I said I didn't watch it before, but what I meant was I didn't really watch it way ahead and read the synopsis and things like that. But I did think, hold on, that's a clone. The way she was being made was really Westworld, and it really was like Westworld here, where we had the characters being made from all the best DNA and things like that, and they're just ready to be programmed and do certain tasks. So that's what Ava is here. However, she is in the Time Bureau, which, how? So how one, she doesn't know she's a clone whatsoever. Now there are two theories on here. There is the idea that she is the template. She will, in the future, become such a legend that, well, she will actually be the template for which these clones are made. Maybe. Another idea for me, which I think is the most interesting, it's not to toot my own horn, but the idea that Ava will actually be an anachronism. So she had a backstory that was made by Rip Hunter. It was deleted from the time records by Rip Hunter. So I think possibly that everyone in the Time Bureau is actually an anachronism. And they've been brainwashed or whatever, and they've been given a backstory, or at least they think they've been given a backstory. So what happens is they kind of live this double life, or they've been given this new life, and Rip Hunter has actually learned his lesson from before. So with the Legends, they're very free thinking or whatever, but if he gets Legends, so if he gets kind of anachronisms or things like that, which doesn't really matter if they get killed in some way or something like that, well, I think that he's pretty much copied the template. So if he gets people from the time stream who are anachronisms, which it doesn't matter if they are destroyed or killed, well, he could then trick them into becoming the Time Bureau, much like he did with the Legends. The idea that they are the Legends of Tomorrow is a bit of a joke, because they were created and taken and plucked from the time stream because they have no effect on history whatsoever. So he's basically done that again with the Time Bureau, but he has learned his lesson. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below on that idea about Ava. But as well as this, we've got Damien Dark, and him and Nate were hilarious. I absolutely loved that part. The whole torture thing was amazing, and Damien Dark has proved to be the best part of this show. But Wally West is slowly catching up with him, or fastly, whatever. But an interesting thing here, side note, is the fact that the actor who plays Damien Dark, he is in the Workaholics Cruise movie Game Over Man on Netflix. There's been some bad reviews, but I've really liked it. And if you're a fan of the actor of the dude who plays Damien Dark, well, go and check that out, because he's in that as well, and it's really, really funny. He basically plays Damien Dark. So, as well, moving on, Damien Dark, I expect, may turn on Mallus. I expect he will turn on him as Nora slowly gets consumed by Mallus and is used as an avatar. But there's something which I can't help but think of. I can't help but think of the idea that Savitar is involved. Now, the fact that he has... Well, let's put the comparisons. So, Savitar had his kind of weird cult thing. Yep, check. We've got that. It's the Order of the Compass, I believe. Something Compass. And in this, and we also had his kind of druid things, and we had, of course, Julian Albert, Dr. Alchemy. So, we've also, as well, got the whole stuck in a time prison. Well, that was Savitar, Mallus as well, and they have been throughout all of history amassing their followers. Yep, just like Savitar creating his own legend. I can't help but think, now, I would be absolutely shocked if they did pull this huge twist. Now, the whole thing is that this is a CGI character. They've said that this is a CGI character, Mallus. Savitar was pretty much mostly CGI, I believe, and we're just getting the voice. So there is a parallel there. I can't help but draw parallels. I don't think Mallus is Savitar. That would be ridiculous, mainly for the fact that they've created a different character, and, well, it'd be weird. But I can't help but think there's too much comparisons. However, that is it for this video. Please do drop a like. Please do subscribe. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.